Well, after games, managers talk about sometimes good points and bad points. Was that a good point today? Did you feel that was a fair result?
Good game. It was an excellent game. I was really pleased with it. In respect of, it was competitive, both sides. They're riding hard in the division, and we said before the game, you can see the reasons why. First half an hour, obviously it was a challenge for us, but we stayed in the game, worked out one or two little situations, finished the first half really well, started the second half really strongly, on the front foot, giving ourselves an opportunity. And again, from my point of view, there was oohs and ahs, it was competitive. And from my point of view, I thought it was first clean sheet for a long, long time. So we take the positive from that point of view. As I say, few oohs and ahs, and we're hard to play against. And we're competitive. And we look as though we can create chances to score goals. It was 0-0 today, probably not as many chances, but say give Crewe a lot of credit as well. They're riding high. You know, they're really close to the top of the division. And I knew that would be a tough game. It was a tough game for them as well. So I was really pleased with the players' attitude and performance today.
Yeah, I thought when they started with lots of possession, but you kept your shape really well, and that shows sort of how far you've come, really. You know, you're keeping their arm's length, and a lot of credit to the team for that.
Yeah, listen, I want us to be able to go and press, you know, but obviously teams they're a good possession-based side, and from a point of view when we actually do the research on the opposition, this side in particular, they try and drag you all over the place and exploit the spaces that you leave. So from our point of view, we were disciplined with it, where we didn't create loads of space for them. Yes, you know, they had possession of the ball. I would have liked us to have been a bit more aggressive and a bit more closer to it and won a few more knockdowns. That wasn't to be in the first half, and it was a little bit of a challenge, but we worked it out a little bit better. And again, we finished the first half strongly, started the second half really strongly, and finished the game really strongly as well.
Yeah, I thought in the second half, yeah, you were the side more likely, and it was just that final third, either the ball just wouldn't drop for you, or it wasn't quite the right pass. I mean, it was just one of those days sometimes, but I suppose credit to the defenders as well.
Yeah, it was the oohs and ahs. I mean, 60 minutes, the game's 0-0. Tried to affect the game and be positive. You know, put a fresh Harvey Saunders up top with the pace that he's got. Thought Charlie Jolly's had a good game, linking up with Connor Jennings. I think there's a stat out there, there's the team that makes the first substitution on 60 minutes. If it's 0-0, go on to win it. So I've tried to be proactive on that. And then likewise, get Josh Hawkes on the pitch as well. To Josh Hawkes and Robbie Apter. Kieran Moss had a real good game again. But again, trying to affect the game. Can we go and win it? It's 0-0, but can we go and win it? Risk losing it, go and win it. That was what we were after from that point of view, because of where we are now. We want to go and get wins, especially when we're at home. And again, a few oohs and ahs, and Brad Walker just towards the end. Not the final shot that went ski with, but the one that just went past the post. If that had just gone in. Unfortunately, Robbie Apter's come off after I've just bring Josh on. So that was a shame that we couldn't finish the game with both of them on the pitch for a longer period of time. But then we've got a 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗧 coming in. But for me, we're an organised side, we're a committed side, we want to do well. And again, it just shows how far we've come from maybe the last time we played Crewe at their place.
I think there's only one side that's drawn less games than Tranmere this season, but actually, you know, you turn some of those defeats into draws, and you do move yourself up the table. So it's different ways of looking at draws in games, aren't the sort of thing? But that sort of shows how far you've come, I think, if you can do that.
Yeah, it's a consistency of daily behaviours. That's what I'm about. Consistency of performances, and then we look at results. And I think over the last 2 or 3 months, we've probably been on 2 points a game when we average it. That's promotion winning form. Now, obviously, we started from a lesser position, so that's a thing. But from my point of view, we're competitive, we're hard to play against, and we've got a flair in our side. On the right times, we can score goals. Today, we haven't, but from my point of view, we've consistently shown that we've got something about ourselves, and there's a spirit. And again, I think at the end of the game, you saw the players and the supporters applauding each other. You can see we're having a go, and we're trying. That's a big step forward for us.
And an important day for the club, you know, the memorial match. You know, it's really important for the club to recognise, and I suppose that sort of shows that togetherness of players and fans, the management staff and the owners behind you all. It's an important day for everybody, isn't it, Nigel?
Very much so. It's a day of reflection and remembering the people that have been associated with the football club. That was impeccable before the game as well. So that point of view, it's an opportunity to reflect and remember. And that's what we're trying to do as well. You know, remember the good times. Remember the times you've had with people, and every time it comes to Prenton Park, it's always got to be a special occasion. We've got to make it that way, because in the future we'll look back and go, remember the times when we were with my dad and my mum or my brother or sister or my friends and my mates, and maybe they're not here now, but we can still remember them. And that was the great opportunity today for us as a football club to remember everybody.
Yeah, and the recognition, I think, today that the club is progressing in the right direction again, as you say, that's part of it, and the fans can see that on the pitch. They know that the club's here to stay, and they know that the club's going to move forward as well.
Yeah, there's a togetherness, there's a belonging. I think that's the biggest message. There's a belonging. We all share the same common cause. It's the best for Tranmere Rovers Football Club. This is where we're from. This is our place, and we've got to make sure that we have that belonging. Good times, challenging times, but we all stick together, and we can see, you just said it there, another step in the right direction. We're moving forward, we're looking forward, and from my point of view, I'm really pleased with how things are progressing so far. But as I keep saying, what can we do to keep improving? Daily habits, good habits on a regular basis help, and we got a spirit amongst the team. Maybe another day that game might have gone away from us early on, but we didn't. We managed our way through. We navigated it through. We've got excellent staff who work hard. We've got excellent players who work hard, and we've got a togetherness which is important.
𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗬𝗢, was that just cramp at the end?
Cramped up. So obviously shows he's obviously worked his socks off, right? Or we need to work him even harder. But he's cramped up, and he's such a flair player. We got him on the ball, and he's exciting to watch. And that's what we want. We want to be excited as well. Yes, we've got to work hard. Yes, we've got to be organised. And yes, we've got to get our flair players on the ball as well. And we certainly, we're always trying to get Robbie on the football because he will just get people off the seats, and that's what you want. And he had a few opportunities today, didn't it, to target? But yeah, both his thighs cramped up there a little bit. So just need to make sure that maybe he's got a bit more hydration in through the course of the week. He's a young lad learning the game as well for himself about how his body is. So that's important, that he will keep progressing, but he's a special talent, and we're really pleased we've got him with us.
Yeah, you can't help but every time he misses the target, you can see the frustration. He's like he's beating himself up for not actually hitting the target.
Yeah.
But that's a really good sign, isn't it? And also as well, now players want him to go on his left foot. He's showing he's got the talent to go on his right foot as well now.
Well, I think we want him to go both ways. We put a cross in with his right foot the other week at Grimsby for us to win the game. And again, when we look at the combination he's got with 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗏, making them selfless runs to go and overlap, and then that distracts the fullback who's marking Robbie, and that allows Robbie to cut inside them because the player's got to track 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗏's run. Regan Henry did it a couple of times as well. So we've got players understanding the strengths of each other. I think that's important when you're trying to build a team. People need to know strengths and weaknesses of each other and an understanding of how you play. And I think that's important, where I think a lot of people try and bring far too many players in, and they keep swapping and changing all the time. Can you have a bit of continuity about yourself? And I think we're reaping the rewards of having a consistency of team selection to start off with, but we got competition for places, so the players know you can't take the foot off the pedal because there's somebody just as good as them, desperate and waiting to have a go. Josh Hawkes has been waiting a long time to get on the pitch. I wasn't too happy with him when he gave back that so, and I made him well aware of that in the dressing room after the game. But he's a special talent as well. When we talk about 𝗦𝗧𝗔𝗬𝗢𝗏, Josh Hawkes is a special talent. We've got to get the balance right where I'm getting him enough game time. But again, our intent was to see if we can win the game. Kieran Morris was having a good game, I thought. But again, intent, can we go and win the game? So as I said, that's where we are at the moment. We want to go and win games of football. But importantly, you've got to stay in it to start off with. It was a little challenge, give Crewe the respect of where they are in the division and how they play, and they do it really well. But we stuck to the task, and we got ourselves through it.
And just one quick one, Christian Dennis not involved in the squad today. Is that another injury, or was it just selection today?
He missed the first couple of days of this week. He was just feeling. He came on Saturday at Grimsby, and he's reported on Monday just feeling his calf a little bit. So he didn't train for the early part of the week. I'm pretty sure I could have had on the bench today, but I've obviously decided 𝗬𝗢𝗎𝗓, who had just come back. We've got competition for places. We've got a strength in depth. So trying to make sure we get it right, where Christian's trained with a large group of players this morning, and all being well, he can then figure at on Tuesday's game. We've got a game in Liverpool Senior Cup against Warrington Rylands. So all being well, he'll figure it out if he's come through today's session all right.